Good morning, students. Today we are starting chapter 6 from your English grammar book, and the name of the topic is verbs. So, children, what are verbs? Verbs are words that denote action, position, or the state or condition of something they express, like an action performed by the subject. For example, Mahima opened the door. Raj is cleaning his room. The state or condition of something. For example, the students are here to participate in a tournament. And also, what is owned by the subject. Like Latika has 3 new novels to read. Now, I will explain you subject-verb agreement. Every sentence has a subject and a verb. The subject and the verb should agree with each other in person and number. This is called subject-verb agreement. If the subject of the sentence is singular, the verb is singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb is plural. If there is more than one subject, the verb is plural. For example, Prakash is not at home. Ajay is not at home. So here Prakash is a singular form. So what is used here? Singular verb. They are not at home. So here the subject is plural form. So also the verb is plural. Collective nouns usually take a singular verb, like the band has not arrived yet, the crowd is getting restless. Words such as each, every, one of, no one, none, none of, nobody, anybody, anyone, everybody, everyone, somebody, and someone are followed by singular verbs. For example, one of the people who telephoned has come for the interview. Nobody else has turned up. None of the candidates is suitable for the job. Now the next is phrasal verbs. A phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and a preposition or an adverb. The words together create a meaning which differs from the meaning of the individual words if taken separately. For example, Sonia look after her pets and plants. So take care of her pets and plant. Naresh come across old photographs in the drawer. He's found the photographs by chance. Now I will explain you finite and non-finite verbs. When the verb in a sentence indicates the tense and agrees with the number and person of the subject, we call it a finite verb. The form of the verb changes if the subject changes or if the tense changes. A non-finite verb is not directly linked to the subject. It does not change if the number or person of the subject changes. Non-finite verbs also do not show the tense. Now the next topic is infinitives. An infinitive is the base form of a verb. We use infinitives to join sentences. For example, you can speak to him on the phone. Would you prefer that? So now we will join the sentence. Would you prefer to speak to him on the phone? Infinitives are of two kinds. the to infinitive with to, and the bare infinitive without to. When we use the verb with to, it is called the to infinitive. For example, we asked him to finalize the plan. He offered to help me with the work. The to infinitive generally functions as a noun or a complement in the sentence. To operate this machine, insert a coin in the slot. Touch the screen anywhere to activate the program. It is used after verbs such as hope, want, agree, and able. It is used after nouns or adjectives. Clear? Now the next one is participles. A participle is a form of a verb that can function both as a verb and as an adjective. Most commonly participles and in ing or ed. For example, the smiling baby caught my finger. So here the smiling is an adjective. I saw Meher opening the parcel. So here the opening is a verb. Now the next one is gerunds. A gerund is a verb that ends in ing and functions as a noun. Since a gerund functions as a noun, it occupies the same position in a sentence that a noun usually does: subject, object, or after a preposition. For example, the batting let down the team. So here subject of a sentence. The other team is known for its fantastic bowling. Object of a sentence. Some were blamed for bad fielding. Object of a preposition. So children, here our topic verb is completed. I hope that you all have understood it. Thank you.